On a Saturday. Facebook want to try to keep me from being great, but not today, Facebook. We are going to get this live going on so we can continue with day 5 of Fabmas. And yes, it is I. It is Nick Scott on a Saturday up in your timeline. And as I do every single time I go live, I do simulcast both on Facebook and Instagram. So before we get rolling into this thing too deeply, I am going to go ahead and bring in my Instagram crew. So just pause for the call, stand by for a couple seconds, and let's get this thing cracking over here on Instagram. Hello, hello. Hey, Instagram, how are y'all doing on this beautiful Saturday? Welcome to day 5 of Fabmas, where I am going to be popping in on your timeline live on Instagram and Facebook, and I am going to be talking about all things mind, business, and branding. Hello, hello, Sugar Salon. Thanks for joining. Fierce DDT, thanks for joining. I see y'all on Instagram. Thanks for joining me today. For those of you that are new, my name is Nick Scott. I am a personal brand coach where I help women entrepreneurs, women coaches, women consultants, women leaders, women service providers. I help them establish, grow, and maintain their personal brand. And what I've been doing all month long, it's 5 days in, is I have been going live. I have been going live with my people on Instagram. I've been going live with my people on Facebook because I want to get us right as we head into 2021. I want us to get right. I want us to get our minds, our businesses, and our brands right as we head into 2021. So we can slay, so we can crush it. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining on Instagram. So today, what I want to talk to y'all, I just have a very simple question. Very simple question. And the question is in the title. Ooh, my hair. Y'all didn't even tell me my hair was looking crazy like this. What's going on? So my question for y'all is very simple. If you saw the title of this live, the question is, are you a part of the 8%? And most of us, we're familiar when people, we talk about the 1% of families or people that hold all of the wealth for all of the world. Like, that's a crazy statistic when you think about it, that it's literally just 1% of folks that have all the wealth in the world. But are you a part of the 8%? What is the 8%, Nick? I'm going to tell you what the 8% is. The 8% is the 8% of people who actually accomplish their goals. Are you a part of the 8%? Now that is a staggering statistic in itself, right? Only 8% of people who set a goal actually accomplish it. That means there's 92% of people who say that they're going to do something and it never gets done. Are you a part of the 8%? Are you a part of the 8%? Now, that's a real question, right? Like, you got to get real with yourself and say, dang, am I the type of person? Am I a part of that majority? Am I a part of the people on that wide road, right? We talk about the wide road and the narrow road. Am I on the wide road with everybody else? Am I doing what everybody else is doing and saying things that I never do? Am I a part of that group think? Am I following the leader of that 92% who set goals and never, ever, ever accomplishes it? Because you know what? Here's the truth. Here is the hard truth. The majority of those under the sound of my voice are a part of the 92%. The majority of people, based on the statistics, y'all, these aren't my statistics. These are some people much smarter than me who came up with these numbers, who did these studies, who conducted the research. 92% of people say they're going to do something. 92% of people set out to accomplish a goal and they never accomplish it. Why? Is there something special about the 8%? Is there something special about them? Are the 8% some gifted folks that are just blessed to be able to accomplish their goals? Are the 8%, are they just privileged people right? Are they just privileged people? Are they all Americans? You know, we have a certain amount of privilege here in America. Are all the 8% part, American? Are they all American? Are the 8%, were they just blessed and they were born into wealth, right? What is it about the 8% that separates them from the 92%? What is it about being on this narrow road that 8% of people actually accomplish the goals that they set for themselves? What is it about it? I'm going to tell you what it is. It is their mindset. And I told y'all we're going to cover all things. We are covering all things mind, business, and branding. And this goes right in alignment with mindset. The 8%, they have a certain mindset, y'all. So is there something special about the 8%? I would say if there was any one thing that's special about the 8%, it is their mindset. They have a mindset that is focused, that is laser focused on what it is that they want and what it is that they want to accomplish. And that's not to say that the 8%, they never encounter any challenges, right? Because in any goal accomplishing, in anything that we do to set out to do, there's always going to be that process. There's always going to be that journey. So, of course, the 8%, they also encounter obstacles and challenges and setbacks. The 8%, they're not perfect. They're not perfect, but it's their mindset. But what is it about that mindset? And that's really what I want to get into today with y'all, is I really want to talk about how can you start to adopt the mindset of the 8%. What exactly can you do so that you can move from being part of the 92% of people and into the 8%, right? Most of the time, because let's be clear, not 100% of people accomplish 100% of the goals that they set out to accomplish, right? But the majority of the goals that you set out to accomplish, if you are not in the 8%, then you're in the 92%. And I want to help you get out of that 92% and move into the 8%. So I have about, let me see, I have my notes here. I have 9 different strategies that you can start to employ so that you can move from being in the 92%, so you can get off the wide road doing what everybody else is doing. You know what I mean? Like, we're out on the internet and on social media all the time talking about how unique we are and how different we are and how we don't do what everybody else do. So I really want to help you do that. I want to help you not do what everybody else do. But before I get into it, I do want you, if you're a note taker, go get your pen and your notebook, because I am giving 9 specific strategies that you can use to start to change your mindset so you can move off of that wide road, get on the narrow road, and become a part of the 8% of the people who accomplish their goals. Become a part of the 8% of people who say that they're going to do something and then actually do it. So grab your pen and your notebooks, tag your goal friends and your biz besties, because class is about to be in session in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So the very first thing that you need to do, if you are interested in having a goal achieving mindset, not a goal getting mindset, right? Because all of us, we want to go get them goals. It's not a problem setting the goals. It's the problem and the opportunity lies in actually achieving the goals. So how do you take on this achieving mindset that you can accomplish whatever goal it is that you set your mind to? The very first thing that you need to understand is you have to believe the power of your mind, and that your mind has the power to shift your circumstances. If you don't believe that, then you will not be able to move forward in this process of mindset when it comes to achieving your goals, you have to believe that your mind has the power to change your circumstances. It has the power to shift your environment. It has the power to literally move mountains. So you have to start to believe that. Believe it with every fiber of your being. We've heard it before. As a man thinketh, so he becometh, or whatever it is. And I'm sure that I've messed that up, but you know what I'm talking about. Or even a more common one is be mindful of your thoughts because your thoughts become your actions. Be mindful of, no. I messed that up too. It's be mindful of your thoughts because your thoughts become your words. Be mindful of your words because your words become your actions. Be mindful of your actions because your actions become your habits. Be mindful of your habits because your habits become your character, right? So it starts with your thoughts. And then those thoughts leads into words. And then those words lead into the actions. And then the actions lead into habits. And then the habits become our character. So you have to believe the very first thing you have to do if you want to be part of the 8% of people who actually accomplish their goals. You have to believe with all of your heart, soul, mind, body, and spirit that your mind has the power to shift your circumstances. Yes, even you. Your mind has the power to do that. And so once you can get on board, and because for a lot of us, that is counter to what we've been taught our whole lives, right? A lot of this mindset stuff, it is out of habits and things that have been spoken over us and spoken to us our entire lives. So when you're like, you know what, my mind, I have the power in my mind to do what I want to do. If I think it, I can achieve it. That is counter to what a lot of us have been taught. But that's where it starts. That's what the 8% understand. They understand that their mind has the power to shift their circumstances. They understand that when they go out to set a goal, that motivation and willpower are not enough to accomplish the goal. It's part of it, right? You have to have some motivation. You have to have some willpower. But they understand that that is not enough, because here's what I know about willpower. What I know about willpower is it's like a tank of gas in your car. So when you start off, you write down your goal. You're like, I am going to work out every day for the next 30 days. No matter what. This is what you're telling yourself. You write it down in your journal, right? And you're like, you tell everybody I'm working out for 30 days. You get up on your Facebook and your Instagram and you're like, hey, just finished day 1 of my 30-day workout challenge. Hey, go girl, yay me, right? But then by day 10, you're like in the bed or doing whatever it is that you're doing outside of working out, because that willpower is like a gas tank. You start off on full, right? And you like, yes, let's go get it. You hitting that gas hard. You like, let's go. I'm working out for 30 days. And then by day 10, your gas tank is on E. That willpower is gone. Why is the willpower gone? The willpower is gone because you hit that gas so hard and you were like, all I need is the will to accomplish this goal of working out for 30 days. And that's not enough. Willpower combined with the mind, you can accomplish anything. And I'm here as a living testimony, because what I don't do is I do not teach theory. Anything that I come on here talking about, anything that you're going to learn from me in my programs and in my freebies, or anything that you come across on my social media, it is not theory. I teach truth. I teach truth. I don't go pick up a book or read a blog and be like, ooh, that sounds cute. Let me get on here and go live and tell my audience that this is this is the way to do it. No, I teach truth. I don't teach theory. I teach truth. Okay. So number one, believe that your mind can shift your circumstances. Number two, once you understand that, then you need to figure out why this is so important. Why is this thing that you want to do so important to you? Start with why. And be real with it. If it's for a vanity reason, so be it. But you have to understand the why before you can start to accomplish whatever it is that you're setting up to accomplish. So what is your why? Why do you want to work out for 30 days straight? Maybe it's because you want to look good for your birthday. Maybe it's because you want to make every ex you've ever had in your life jealous. Maybe it's because you are ready to change your physicality and your future life. Who knows? But you have to start with why. And I'm using fitness as an example because I really think that it is an example that a lot of people can relate to. And it doesn't matter if you work out or not, but you have to understand your why. Okay? So believe that your mind has the power to shift your circumstances. Start with why. Why is doing this thing so important to you? And then I say this all the time, y'all. I say this all the time. And the very first time that I heard this, since we're talking about fitness and working out so much, the very first time that I heard this was from my trainer, Jillian Michaels. And she said it in one of her videos, and I can't remember which one it was, but she said, "Oh, you're uncomfortable? Well, you need to get comfortable being uncomfortable." And that's the third tip that I have for you if you want to become a part of that 8% that actually does what they say that they're going to do, that actually accomplishes the goals that they set out to accomplish. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because I said it at the beginning, remember? I said that this mindset thing is counter. It goes against everything that most of us have been taught our whole lives, that most of us have observed our whole lives. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to understand that when you start to shift your mind, when you start to have a different mindset than the majority of people around you, that you're not going to get a lot of support. You're not going to get a lot of support because a lot of people are not going to understand it. Remember, I said 92%, they on the wide road. They doing what everybody else is doing. But when you're doing something different, when you're 8%, 8 out of 100 people, then you have to understand that you're not going to get a lot of support because a lot of people don't get it. And they're not going to get it. But I want you to get it. And that's why I'm here today, to help you understand that the 8%, they got that mindset thing under control. First, they understand like, hey, my mind can shift my circumstances. They understand exactly why it's important for them to accomplish the thing that they said that they're going to accomplish. And then they also understand that this is not going to be comfortable, that this journey, that this process that I'm on is not going to get comfortable. And then with that, you need to watch the way that you talk to yourself. So that's the next tip that I have for you. Self-talk, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, all of that, right? Remember I said, watch your thoughts because they become words. It starts in your mind. Your whole character of who you are and how you show up, it starts in your mind, whether you realize it or not, whether you want to admit it to yourself or not. Self-talk, and it's just not, self-talk when you wake up in the morning, you like, you are such a sexy beast. You can kill it. You're going to crush all of your goals. In the moments when it's hard, in the moments when it gets tough, in the moments where you just want to quit, you need to mind your self-talk. I'm going back to fitness again. I made a goal for myself when I was in my 30s. I need to set the stage for this story, okay? So I hope y'all have time for a quick story. My husband and I celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary 9.5 years ago. Okay, so we've been married 19.5 years at this point. So 9.5 years ago, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary, and we treated ourselves to a trip in Maui, and in Maui, Hawaii. We had neither one of us had ever been there. And it is one of the most beautiful places on earth, y'all. Like, if heaven was on earth, I believe it would be Maui. Like, that's how beautiful. All it was missing was the streets of gold. Maui is just breathtakingly beautiful. And while we were there, we lived it up, right? 10 years of marriage in this thing, we have a couple kids. We've accomplished a couple things together and started to establish our legacy. So we lived it up. We hired this photographer to take our pictures on our actual wedding anniversary. And when we got the pictures back, I was like, Harpo, who this woman? I did not recognize myself, y'all. Like, that is how much weight I have had gained in those 10 years of marriage. And of course, I had given birth during that time, or whatever. Those are excuses. I was not happy with the way that I looked. And I was like, oh no, by the time I'm 40, so I was 32 at the time. By the time I'm 40, I am going to have and make health and fitness a way of life, because there was a vanity factor in there, right? Like, I wanted to look good, but I also wanted to feel good. And the reason that I had gotten so big, and I'm talking to all of my natural, thin, small people out there, is because everybody else around me was bigger than me. Like, I was smaller than everybody else. And so as long as I was smaller than everybody else, I felt like I was good, but I wasn't. Like, it was all bad. So I had made a promise to myself. I said, over the next 8 years, I am going to do this. I'm doing this for myself today, and I'm doing it for the quality of life that I want. And let's be clear, my husband deserves to have a woman who looks physically as close to the woman he married. At that point, it was 10 years ago, right? So it was for me, it was for my kids, it was for my husband. Like, there were a lot of reasons why I wanted to lose this weight. So I caught myself starting to work out. And no, my knees was hurting. Y'all, I couldn't breathe. Like, it was hard. I was sore every day. Like, I jumped into Jillian Michaels workouts like I had been doing this all my life. And I was coming basically off of sedentary. And I went in and I was going hard, right? But when it got hard, if you've ever done a Jillian Michaels workout, I want y'all to drop some love in the comment section, because it is no joke. They're 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but they're no joke. And when it would get hard, I would tell myself, you can do this. You got this. Don't you stop. You can, like, if all these other people, all these other folks walking around here with six packs, looking good and being, slim and trim, if they can do it, you can do it. And that is what I would tell myself, literally in the midst of hard workouts, coming off the couch and doing Jillian Michaels. I would tell myself that. So watch the way that you talk to yourself. It's easy to do it when you're feeling good. It's easy to do it when things are going well. But when things are not going so well, when things are hard, when you are in the trenches, right? When Jillian got you doing 35 squats and you can barely do 2, talking about get your booty to the floor. Watch the way that you talk to yourself. And that is going to help you move from that wide road onto that narrow road. Watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your action. Watch your actions. They become your habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. So what's the next thing that you can do is you can change your habits. Change your habits. Change your habits. If you realize, you know what? Every day after work, I stop and I get Wendy's. I say Wendy's because my kids love Wendy's, and literally every day after work, one of them is stopping to get Wendy's. And you're like, well, shit, it's been a year and I have put on 10 pounds. And it's like, okay, so I know that I can change my diet. So what can I do? I can change the habit of going to Wendy's every day after work. Start with that small thing. And that's the thing. When you start to change your habits, a lot of us try to go in it all ham. Remember, I talked about willpower at the beginning. That willpower, our gas is full, our tank is full, and we like, yes, on the gas, right? But it doesn't have to be that way. I said I was 32 when I decided I wanted to make a change, not just in the way that I ate, because I ate everything fried back then, but in the way that I looked. But I didn't just want to lose weight. I wanted to be physically fit. I wanted health and fitness. I was 32. And I said, by the time I'm 40, I gave myself 8 years to make mistakes, to build new habits. It didn't take the full 8 years, but I gave myself a timeline that was realistic to change that habit of eating unhealthy and exercising, right? So change your habits. Okay? So then this one right here, this tip that I have for y'all, this one is real. I asked y'all at the very beginning, are you a part of the 8%? And that was a real question. So this is something that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to accept the fact that the way that you are currently thinking is wrong. If you're the type of person who sets goals, who consistently and frequently sets goals for themselves and never accomplishes it, there's a problem. And the problem is with the way that you think. And it does not mean that you're a bad person. Just understand that there is an opportunity for you to grow in that. Accept it. Accept it and then move forward with it. There's two choices you have. And the first one is accept it and move forward with it. And then the second choice is for you to recognize it and be like, I'm good, and not do anything about it. And continue to think the way that you think. And I'm telling you now, if you continue to think the way that you think, things are not going to change for you. I had to change the way that I thought about my diet. I had to change my thinking around what I thought about exercise. And I'm going to be honest, it has been 10 years. Yeah, about 10 years now since I have been working out and eating right. And I'm telling you today, I still hate every second of exercise. The food choices are easy for me, right? Because I still like to eat and I still eat what I want to eat. I just don't eat as much as I want to eat. But I had to accept that the way that I was thinking about my relationship with food and my relationship with exercise was wrong. It didn't mean that I was a bad person. It just meant that there was an opportunity for me to grow. And I wanted to grow in that so bad. Like, I really wanted it. Like, I could, at 32, I didn't want to be a 62-year-old person who could not do the things that she wanted to do. So I was looking at Nick Scott 30 years ahead and what was the type of life that I wanted. So I had to make that change. And then the next thing that you can do, the next thing that you should do to start to change your mindset so that you can get off of being in that 92% and off of that wide road is you need to notice anything that's counter to what you want and you need to reject it. Any thought that comes in your head that is opposite of what it is that you want, any little notion in your being that starts to stir up and says, girl, you can't hold a plank for 60 seconds. You might as well quit. You might as well be like, girl, who you talking to? Psh, bye, girl, bye. Right? Anything that's counter to what it is that you want, you need to reject it. Reject it instantly. And when I teach my clients inside of my programs, I teach them to actually say it out loud, out loud. Like, nope. That's pretty bold. But for some people, that's what it takes. Like, these are bold choices that you're making. You're making a bold choice to not remain a part of the 92%. You're making a bold choice to become 8% of the population who actually accomplishes their goals. And then the next thing that you can do is you can surround yourself with people who have the mindset that you want. And listen, this doesn't just include your offline life. This includes online. Like, you literally have control over what you see on social media. And I paused there because so many people fill themselves all day long on social media with junk and nonsense, right? With mindsets that are completely counter to folks who accomplish their goals. Surround yourself, your timeline, the things that you watch, the things that you listen to, the things that you're reading. Is it in alignment with what you want? Because if it isn't, then you need to cancel it right away, right away, right away. Cancel it. Okay? Now let me just check here. The next tip about mindset is accountability partner. So there's a huge factor of self-accountability that comes with changing your mindset. Because a lot of times it's when we're not around other people that our mindset gets the best of us. It's in those quiet moments, right? That our mindset, that's negative self-talk and all of those doubts and all of those limiting beliefs start to surface. When we're distracted around other people, then that stuff, we don't have time to focus on it because there's so many distractions. But when you have accountability partners, right? I just said surround yourself with people who have the same mindset as what you want. Some of those people should be accountability partners. And when people are holding you accountable, you have to be accepting to it, right? None of us like to be told what to do. I do not like to be told what to do. And I certainly do not like to be told when I'm doing something wrong. However, if somebody is calling you out about something in love, right? After you get out of your feelings, actually assess what they said. Because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, what they're telling you, even if it was hurtful, what they're telling you, there is some truth in that you can take and grow from it. Okay? So I have given you about 9 different things, 9 different strategies that you can use to become a part of the 8%. Who is the 8%? It is the 8% of the population that actually accomplishes their goals. Are you a part of the 8%? If you're not a part of the 8%, you can be a part of the 8% because there is nothing special about the 8%. There is nothing special about me at 32 when I said I want to make health and fitness a regular part of my life every day. I want to do this not just for today, but for 30 years from now. There's nothing special about me in that, right? And I failed many times, but I did not stop. I did not stop. And it's still not perfect. But I'll tell you one thing. When we hired a photographer at our last anniversary and the pictures came back, I wasn't looking at the pictures like, Harpo, who this woman? I'll tell you that. So if you have some goals that you want to accomplish with your business and your brand, then I invite you to get the roadmap so we can get started. If you're looking for an accountability partner, who's going to keep it real? I ain't even going to, you know what? Sometimes my delivery is a little too much for some people, and I get that. I am a direct communicator. I'm a direct and that's not good for everybody. However, if you enjoy the way that I communicate and the way that I deliver my dialogue, I encourage you to download the roadmap so we can get started. That is the very first way for us to get connected, is for you to download the roadmap. How do you download the roadmap, Nick? Well, if you're on Instagram, click the link in my bio. It's inickscott.com/roadmap. If you are on Facebook, the link is right in the caption and description of this post. Again, it's inickscott.com/roadmap. If you want to learn more about me because you're like, oh, girl, I just met you. Like, I just happened to pop on this live. Then I encourage you to go to my website and learn more about me. Read my full bio. Google me and see all of the things that I have done. Go to my LinkedIn. Check out my credentials. I told y'all, I don't teach theory. I teach truth. And so if you're ready to get your brand together, your personal brand together, if you're ready to create a profitable personal brand that leads to more sales, that leads to a bigger social media audience, that leads to a bigger email list, that leads to a sales funnel on steroids, I invite you to download the roadmap. So this has been day 5 of Fabmas, where for the first 24 days of December, I am going to be tackling all things mind, business, and branding. If you are still here rocking with me, I appreciate you. And I hope to see you on the inside. And you know what? I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for day 6, because we just going to keep this thing rolling. All right? Bye.